Hello everyone, welcome. Today I'm going to be finally reviewing the Maid of Sker horror game. So this game was actually created by Welsh Interactive, and Wales Interactive is actually a UK founded company that, from what I've seen, has made some really good horror games. So this game is actually based off of an old Welsh tale. I'll explain more about that in the description of this video. I really hope you guys enjoy this video. Thank you so much for tuning in, and hopefully you enjoy. And one more thing, if you guys happen to enjoy this content, please let me know what else I could review. Let me know what other games or movies or horror games, books, whatever you want to see me review. I will go ahead and try my best. Now, one thing that I do really feel excited for is whenever you guys start getting those comments rolling in about suggestions, I'm really going to be able to branch out and expand my reviewing capabilities. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for clicking on it, and yeah, thanks. Enjoy. The Maid of Sker, Wales Interactive. It is 1898. You play as a young man named Thomas Evans, who is a magician. He is on his way to aid his dearly beloved named Elizabeth Williams. You must save her from the Sker Hotel, for something has gone horribly awry. Along the way, you start to discover exactly what happened to the hotel and Elizabeth's family. Her family has been struggling with keeping the inn open to the public due to the lack of customers and the lack of funds. The family has also taken part in being fishermen. However, they come across something that will change their luck into what appears to be good luck at first, but later on down the line their luck turns for the worst. Elizabeth's father, named Isaac, and her uncle, named Abraham, have captured what is known as a siren in Greek mythology. However, as most people get confused, this siren is a harpy in design, representing the original sirens in Greek mythology, not those that look like mermaids. Isaac and Abraham bring home the siren, having an idea of how to bring the people back to the hotel using the siren's song to lure people inside. However, they learn that this creature needs human flesh to survive, so Isaac and Abraham develop a cult to worship the siren and feed it with sacrifices, essentially making it stronger. Eventually, they learn how to replicate the siren's song using Isaac's wife, who is a rather embellished opera singer. Her name was Prudence Williams. They then made her into a priestess in a cult called the Quiet Ones. Now, in order to make sacrifices to the sirens themselves, they would use Prudence's voice to create an allure for people to come to the inn. Some were invited to stay the night. However, the family had rigged the rooms with very deadly traps to ensure that they would kill the guests, essentially making food for their golden goose, to say the least. They would draw these people in another way. They would also create shows for Prudence to host, her being the lead singer. Soon, Prudence began to age and lose her voice, sadly leading to her passing away. So the family decided to train Elizabeth Williams to be the new priestess in the cult. She would sing, but was left unaware of the cult's activities. Soon she learned of the foulness of her family and locked herself away in the attic of the inn, keeping herself safe in order to call for Thomas's help. This is where the plot takes a turn. It is unclear, at least not to me, but Elizabeth seems to either be working with the cult the whole time or has been converted during your time trying to save her. Regardless, she is actually against you, thanks to her entrancement, but you can save her. You must collect the music sheets of the siren's song as well as 4 brass cylinders to place upon the inn's organ that goes by the name of the Grand Harmonium. It is ready to play the siren's song once those are completed. In ending 1, which is the bad ending, You collect all the pages except for a secret music page of the siren's song that is hidden behind a door mechanism that resembles a statue holding a skull. This causes the cult to become empowered, and you being the latest member to their cult. They make you kill the siren itself, essentially proving that they are superior without its abilities. This is obviously the bad ending, as I stated before. However, if you collect the final music sheet that I mentioned before, you can break the trances of the cult by playing the full song in reverse. Then set the siren free from her confinement after releasing Elizabeth from her trance. Now I will be talking about the pros and the cons. The pros are as follows. The graphics are absolutely wonderful. Many of the scenes are well animated and the textures are almost lifelike. On top of that, the music and ambiance always keeps you on edge like a good horror movie should. Many other things such as the lighting, the character design, and voice acting are wonderful as can be. I didn't see many flaws in this game at all, and today it's still one of my favorite games I can suggest to friends that love horror just like I do. There are also alternative game modes that allow you to fight and survive with more weapons to keep yourself alive. You can even defeat Uncle Abraham as a boss fight in the end of one of the modes. So, here are my cons. There are more minor flaws about this game despite all the praise that I can give about it. For example, we will start with the slowness of the gameplay. Sometimes the lighting can be just a tad odd. For example, there is a clearly lit up area but no defined light source. Sometimes the slowness works in some areas, but sneaking around 90% of the game can get both tedious and annoying. With that being said, this becomes most of the gameplay towards the middle and end of the game itself. It almost seems like more of a filler element than a real gameplay. In my opinion, it's, Another con is Uncle Abraham being a typical Mr. X type of character from Resident Evil. When you are close to saving Elizabeth, Abraham chases you in a typical Mr. X style that has no regards for actual following the ideas of the enemies being blind and needing to use sound to learn where you are. He always knows whether you are silent or even very far away. His character design seems rather cliche, however fitting at the same time with the time era that the game takes place in. My final rating is 38.6 out of 50 stars. I have 5 different topics to cover: graphics, character design, sound design, gameplay, and story. The graphics are an 8.5 out of 10. I enjoy how you cannot really see repeating textures, and the textures all blend very well together. However, I will be docking points for slightly misplaced lighting. The character design is a 7.8 out of 10. I love the old vintage designs of all the characters' outfits and such. However, it is kind of odd when you see the characters' faces as far as the enemies go. They all have burlap sacks on their faces, no mutations or anything like that. There isn't even special stitching or tears in the masks or sacks, whatever you want to call them, that make them unique from one another or more scary than others. Sound design is a 9 out of 10. It is solid. However, it is a really good high quality soundtrack. I do wish that the tracks had a bit more stressful appeal and more variation to the tracks themselves rather than listening to the same melody all the time. The gameplay is a 7.5 out of 10. It is very fun and stressful at first, but sadly becomes very repetitive with a few hours of playing it. If there were more scripted chase scenes, jump scares, or anything else to keep the gameplay fresh, I would have given this a much higher score. The story is a 5.8 out of 10. I do enjoy the plot, but it is indeed a little cliche to say the least. It has the appeal of a fairy tale such as Rapunzel, where a young man must save his lover from a tyrannical way of life. However, I did enjoy the addition of a cult and the siren being the basis of the story. Sure, the cult is cliche, but the idea of a siren is very unusual to see in a horror game, so props for that. I would like to thank you all very much for watching, and if you are indeed still watching, please be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Comment down below what else you'd like to see me review. I'll be reviewing games, movies, food, other things like products, like tablets, appliances, anything I can get my hands on to review. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your night. Good night.